Well, hello, and welcome back to my personal lifestyle YouTube channel. For those of you that are seeing this video for the first time, I am Pastor Michael Nicodemus, and I enjoy doing videos of my life behind the scenes of my ministry at Heart to Heart Refinement School. At that school site, I am an online pastor and I help people with heart refinement. And in my personal lifestyle channel, I talk about how my ministry affects me, but I also do home improvement projects because I'm also a heart to heart refinement specialist, but I'm also a home improvement specialist. So, heart refinement specialist and home improvement specialist, I believe they have the same definition. One is improving the hearts and one is improving the homes, but nonetheless, we have to live in that house that we call our home. And we need to have a heart to heart talk with those people that live in our home in order to maintain peace and harmony. So what I'm going to be doing in this video is finishing out this playlist series on this bedroom remodel. The last thing we got to do is the electrical work, and I'm going to show you how to do a light fixture and a ceiling fan. And we're going to get started right after these messages. What I want to do is show you that this window is finished. Sorry for the light glare. Hopefully you can see that in the video. When I left the last video, I talked about moving that electrical outlet over. And as you can tell, I moved it over and down, and you can't even see where I did that at. So in this video, we're going to be changing out that light fixture and putting a ceiling fan up there. And we're going to be putting a new light switch in too. So let's get started on the light switch right now. Well, as you can tell, I had to turn the lights off in the house. So what I do, the tools that I need in order to change this box out. First of all, I need a new remodel box because this one doesn't have a box in it. It's just a fixture. So I have a new box, I have a new switch. I'm also going to use some wire cutters. So I'm going to take this old cover out of here first. Hold on, I'm going to go grab a couple tools. I'll be right back. A couple tools I went and got is my utility knife, so I can cut the glue, I mean not the glue, but the paint off the top and the bottom of this. I also brought my my driver gun. Helps me get those out of there quicker. Remember, the power is turned off. So you want to cut that paint so it doesn't pull on the wall and then leave a big mess that your box is not going to cover up. So that's why I trim the paint back. So now you're going to get to a system that's going to look like this. This is an old trailer house system. So what I want to do is I want to get inside this box. I want to see how they connected all them wires. That's important when you're doing a switch. Trailer houses are a little bit different than regular houses. They put these in here so when they move the trailer house, they wouldn't have electrical shorts. So this is what's in all of the trailer houses when you buy a trailer house. So you want to snap your cover off of there. So in this situation, we have, as you can see in there, we have the white wire and the black wire that's connected to the shutoff, and then the copper is of course the ground. So because I got so much wire here, I'm going to cut this and then that'll make it easier for me to go through my box. But make sure that you look and see what's inside your box before you start cutting wires, because you're going to need to know that. All right. Now I have good amount of cable, but now I need to trim this so this box holds it. Okay. So this piece right here and this piece right here is what holds it into the drywall. Okay. Make sure you do not lose those pieces. So just like anything else, you got to make sure the box is going to fit. So what I do is I put my box next to my fixture, and then it tells me that I'm going to have to make some cuts with my utility knife, so it'll go in my box. I'd rather go just a little bit taller with it than shorter. Just count on making a mess, because that's what happens when you do work like this. So what we're trying to do is get this blue box to go in here, because that's our new wiring for old model work. So now when I get it wide enough where my box will go in there, I got to get the height and the length of it trimmed out. You might want to trim out your bottom a little bit too, just to straighten it out so you can get your box in there. You can just kind of play with it a little bit before you go putting that wire in there. Like I said, make sure you don't lose these wires. That little clamp there, if you lose that, you'll never get it back again. So I'm going to pause the video until I get this in here, and then okay, I about got this box in here, but it's a little tight to try to get it in the rest of the way. So I'm just going to carefully trim down this drywall around it. This will be a tight fit. You will want it to be tight, but not so tight that you crimp your box. Okay, now my my box is in there. So now I can take my drill and make sure that you're on forward, not reverse, because you will back those things right off of there, and then you'll lose them in the wall. And you'll know when it catches. You'll be able to hear it in there. And then give it a tug to make sure that you've got them tight. So this top one is still spinning. You can do the same thing with the hand screwdriver too. Make sure you're tight. Make sure you can't pull that box out. Okay, I'm confident that that's solid. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my sheathing back. This is basically the same thing that I would do for a an outlet. Outlets are wired a little bit differently, but the theory is the same. This is the light switch that I'm using. Make sure that you toggle it right, so you got up and down is up. So I got these installed throughout my whole house, so I'm going to see which is down and which is up and do it the right way. Now this light switch with the outlets, they have little holes that you can push in. And for me, I don't think it really matters, because one is off and one is on. If this gets across, we can always turn the switch over in the wall. So find your holes, and then you should be able to push wire all the way in there. Then pull on it to make sure it doesn't come out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go turn my power back on and see which is up and down. So when it's off, it should be like that. When it's on, it should be like that. So that should be off. If the light comes on, I'm just going to turn it over, and then it should be correct. So let's go turn the power back on. Well, the light switch was upside down. It was like that. And as you can tell, that turns the power off. So when the power's off, the switch is actually up like that. That's how the rest of the house is wired. So I need to go like this. So that's the on power right there. And you can put that back in your box. Just line up your holes. Make sure your drill is on forward. We lined up. We hooked up the ground. We hooked up the neutral, and we hooked up power. You want to try to get your cover straight best you can. What I'm going to be doing is showing you how difficult it is to wire the fan. For me, that's probably the hardest part of it. Pardon me as I get my screwdriver off the floor. Looks like a brown cover. It's supposed to be black. That lined up correctly with your switch. I think that looks pretty good. Now we're on, now we're off. On, off. All right, my friends, let's get ready to put the ceiling fan up. That's wired a little bit differently, so I'm going to explain some of the aspects of that a little bit more in detail. So let's get everything set up, and let's install a ceiling fan. Well, here we are, my friends. We're in the I guess you can call it the daughter's room, you can call it the cat's room, you can call it the guest bedroom, but I call it the cat's room because she was right back there. She stayed in there the whole time I replaced the light switch. But we need this time, friends, because this is just a light fixture that is a trailer house light fixture. You can see it right there. It does not have a box to hold the fan. So we need a ceiling box brace, box kit, and you'll see the fan as I start putting it up. We also need our phone because we need to take a picture of what the wires look like up in that box up there, because we've got to duplicate the same thing. We've got to take those wires completely apart in order to put this box up there, and hopefully I have everything I need in this box. What I'm looking for is this little connecting piece right here. So the wires got to come through that box. So let's go ahead and shut the power off to this room, and let's pull that box down, and let's see what it looks like. Well, Shiva just took a fast run in the other room, and that's okay, because now I can just do my thing without the interruptions. Turn the power off. Let's just double check it. All right, let's take that down and get up here on my high horse. Get off your high horse, man. We're going to ride until the break of day. Oh, let's get off your high horse, woman. We're going to ride until the break of day. Down that goes. All right, my friends, pull all your wires down so you can see exactly how things are wired. Every one of them, my friends. Okay, what I see here is I see a black and a white red tail together. And then I see another red wire on all the coppers. Then I'm seeing a copper going to light fixture, and then black to black and white to white. But what I want to do is I want to take a picture of this, but I also want to get some masking tape, and I want to mark these two with the same piece of masking tape, or maybe a red marker so I know to put these back together in a red thing. It's the only way I'm going to know that they go together is to mark on them with a marker, and these are pretty legitimate. So white is the white in that thing is a hot wire that's hooked up here, and then the other one just like a normal switch. So when I do a light switch, I do the black from the power to the light switch, and then the black from the light switch to it. So you got two blacks. One's a hot and one goes to the light. I hook those two blacks to my light switch. And then up here, it's just basic simple wiring. But they ran the hot up here instead of running it to the switch. So it has to be done different. So my friends, I'm going to get my phone and I'm going to take a picture of this. And then I'm going to mark it with a little red marker. I'll show the picture on the screen when I'm working on that so you understand what I'm doing. But let me go get my phone. Let me go get a red marker. And let's take a picture of this so we know what's going on here. All right, my friends, I'm back. Let me pull this ladder back a little bit. All right, I got my marker. I'll mark a red line on there. Hopefully on that black one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of masking tape, and it'll just tell me that that black and that white wire has to be joined together in a box. I'm going to go ahead and take the wire nuts off because I did turn the power off. So I'm going to do a piece of tape on there. Mark that tape red. And a little piece of tape on this black one. We know that those have to be wired together. And I'm going to also make that red so I know both of those get to be hooked together. I need a pair of pliers. Get all your tools so they're in a management place so you can get to them. I'm glad I got that bunk bed right there. That helps a lot. All right, my friends, I'm going to take a picture. I suggest you do the same thing if you're doing a trailer house box. It's going to help you to be able to put it back together just the same way it is. If you ever need a reference of what it was, You now have it on your phone. All right, let's pull these wires apart. All right, those wires are together. Let's go ahead and take off our ground wire. No more light fixture. I'm going to have to take this ground apart too. Now this box is screwed into the drywall. It's basically the only thing up there holding it in place. And those, I believe, are let's drop that cover. These are little square heads. So I need a square head drill bit in order to take them down. So I'm going to have to go find that square head to take them down. Then I'm going to go get another tool that will help me a little bit too. Be right back. Well, I'm back. Went and got my star wrench, and I got my diamond pliers. These things are said to be one of the electrician's best friends besides their power meter, so they can check currents and voltage and things like that. But oh, that's not, they just went around in a circle with two lines. All right. Now I'll take my star wrench, get rid of these. Never hold a ceiling fan. Think you would, but I would not want to trust those things to stay solid. All right, now we're down. I can pull all those wires out. Be very careful so you don't pull your identifying tags off of there. You remember those two red ones that we made? All right, old box gone. And what I'm going to do is use this tool to straighten out these ends. So all these wires got to come back through when we get this other one put up here. Now we're going to do the ceiling box. That's a little bit more complicated for just a beginner. But if you read the directions, you'll figure out how to do it correctly. Okay. In this box we have a bar. This bar is supposed to, as I turn this bar, it's going to get longer and go into the studs. So there's a stud going this way and a stud going that way. Okay. To get that in there, you can put this up on here and then rotate it around. That's this middle part right here. So it'll clip and then rotate. And that has the little fixtures for the screws to go into it. And then I also have the thing where the wires are going to come through at. And the wires are going to come through with this thing I'm going to kick out of here. You want to get rid of one of those you want to have an open hole there, so you want to get rid of that little thing right there. Well, this is I'll get a little messy, but this box also has to go up through there. So this is going to make a big mess. So I'm going to have to communicate with the wife and see if we want to cover this with a sheet, or so we don't have to vacuum all this up necessarily. Got to make the hole bigger. I'm probably going to use my sheetrock saw and make it bigger, but I don't want a big mess. So I'll take care of covering the bed and all that stuff. I'll be right back. All right, I got my floor and bed covered best I could. I'm going to pull the slider back just a little bit. Safety glasses. Then I'm going to use a drywall tool. Notice I pushed the wires back up in the box a little bit. Like there's a little piece of plywood up in there as well. Might have to get the jigsaw. It is plywood. Molly screws would hold that if I had a different kind of a bracket. Keep working it until it goes up in there. Take your time, take your time. Well, my friends, I'm going to go ahead and get this put up in here, get the wires pulled down through, and I'll show you what happens next. Well, I had to get my old jigsaw out. There was plywood on top of this, but as you can tell, my box will now set flush. Before I put my box in there, I'm going to go ahead and pull my wires out. This all makes my connection. What I'm going to do is try to feed this up there. It's going to set. If you look at the directions on your box, it's going to set up like that onto the studs, according to my picture. So I'm going to go ahead and fish this up in here. I got it. It's gonna make a mess. That's the way it goes. Right goes tight, left goes loose. Remember that. That in there so it's tight. Glad when I get this part done, it's making a pretty big mess in the room here. Remember, right, tight, left, loose. Should be able to slide it around up in there once you get it secured. Just gonna bite into that stud. Just keep going. I think I'm hitting the stud now, but rock this back down and see what we got going on here. It doesn't seem like it's getting tight. So I'm going, okay, I'm sorry. It's got to go left to go tight. So when it's up in there, I've got to be able to turn it towards you guys for it to go tight. Let's put it back up in there. Towards you guys to go tight. Okay. It's a lot of work. I'm going to pause the video until I get that tight and get to my box on there. I'll be right back. Well, my friends, it's been a couple hours just to get to this point to get that ceiling box up in there. Well, now I open up my ceiling fan box and I got the bracket that's going to hold it up in there. We're going to get that screwed up in place. That should help us hold our ceiling box a little bit tighter.
I'll start the washer wasn't gonna work because the light doesn't work.
I'm filming.
Oh, sorry. Well, looking good.
This will help hold that in place too. We got it snugged up in there as tight as we could get it. All right, my friends, remember the picture we took with my phone, and we have to connect the two pieces of tape together. We got to do that because they're going to go up in that box. We're going to hook our grounds together up in that box, and then the ceiling fan will be hooked in there as well. So let's get our ground wire, get it pigtailed back in here.
Which one's the ground?
This copper one, this long one that we've been fighting with on 2 different occasions. And I got a little greedy ground screw that I'm going to put up in there. This makes me shake. So I'm going to get all this wiring done, and then we'll start putting the fan up there, and I'll be right back. Hey, my friends, I have my ceiling fan connector connected up there. I tied my 2 hot wires back together, put them up in the box. Then there was 2 ground wires that was coming from, one was coming from the switch and one was coming from the power somewhere. So I grounded those together, and then I grounded the fan to the box itself. So that's what this one is, and I've got my black and my white hooked up. So before we can put the fan up there, we've got to put the top housing on the fan. So I want to show you how to do that. So I'm going to change the angle of my camera, and I'll show you that. And then we'll put that up here and wire it in, and then we'll be ready to put our blades on. Hey, the best way to show you how this works is just to show you how it comes right out of the box. Normally, if we would be putting it flush, we'd be using this up on the ceiling, and we will be using that to cover that up there. But we want to use a down rod so we have some flexibility because of our vaulted ceiling. So we're going to use the ring that finishes it off at the top that goes to this, and then this and this. So now we got to take this and expose our connections. This way I can grab a hold of it. Okay. Now this end that I just exposed is the light end, so I'm going to put that back down in my styrofoam. And then this end right here is what we're going to use for the fan at the top. So you're going to get a whole bunch of wire with that. So the first thing I do, you're going to have to put your housing on here. So this goes up on the box, and this goes up underneath here. Okay, that closes that out. But we need to have this also attached to our thing here. So this comes with a little locking screw that locks that in there. Let's just grab our screwdriver. Let's get that up out of there. That's going to go on the top. But in order to put it through all this stuff, we've got to take that loose. So that will slide down as soon as we get that screw out of there. So I'm taking that screw out of there. Don't lose that screw. It's very, very delicate. So I'm just screwing this out of here so I can slide this down. This is what goes onto that piece on the ceiling. So now I can slide that out of there. I have my little piece there. Okay. This also has a little connection right there. You can see that. That's got to come apart. So let's pull that out of there. Let's pull that out of there. Let's make sure we don't lose that little pin. Put that in a safe place. So now, the top part is at there, that point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed all of these wires through here, because that's what hides the wires. Hook this to the fan. So I'm feeding my wires through here. Then I'm going to hook that pin back in there where that was at. Now, that's going to hold me tight onto my fan. Okay? So now I've got some rings to put back in place before I put this piece on here. So this ring will go next. Okay? Feed that through your wires. I'll show you why here as soon as I get them all up at the top. Feed that ground wire that's on there through there too. Just leave that lay there. Same thing with this plate. You want to screw it back through there. It's going to go up there to cover that up. So let's get this through there. Make sure you put your ground wire through there. Okay. Now, same thing. Run all your wires back through this little thing right here. I'm sure they all got a name for them, but pull that through there. Make sure your ground wire gets through there. Just keep working them, they'll get through there. Then find out where your piece is that's going to go back down in there, this little screw. You don't want to put this all the way. Okay, I got to take that ground screw out of there too. That ground screw won't let me slide past there. Okay. All right, now we put that ground screw back in here. Put that up to the top. All right, now that little pin that you took out, it's going to have to go back in here as well. So we're going to raise this up, and then we'll find a pin's going to hold the weight of the fan. And then tighten this screw back down. My wife out there, she's got allergies, and all this insulation we just dropped off the ceiling can't be good for her. Just we're in a video. I did. Anyway, I'll get this screw back in here, and then I'll put the camera back up on the tripod and show you where we're at up on the top. Well, here we are again, my friends. Back up on the ladder. You've done your job right. You should be able to put your ceiling fan up in there. without any problem now. The wire's out of the way. There's a little hook on there. You got to make sure that goes down in the hook. Little slot's what I meant to say. All right, now we got all these wires to have to deal with. So let's go ahead and get them wired. I got to get some more room behind me here. Hold on. All right, much better. I'm going to need 3 wire nuts. So I got them. Let me turn you guys just a little bit. There you go. Well, let's deal with ground wire because that's the most critical one in my way right now. I'm going to strip that back. Put your trash in your fan box. Been a long time building this. Okay, now my fan is grounded with my switch and my power supply. You can put that back up in there. Now the next one we're going to do is the white one because the black one has 2 wires it's going to have to hook to it. So white one, let's make them about the same length. So yeah, I'm cutting off all that wire. Strip my wire end. Bring them together. Another wire nut. Pull them up inside there. And you should have a black and a blue one. I'll talk to you about them here in a minute. So I'm going to cut those. Now, if we had like a remote control or another switch to control the fan separate and a light separate, we would control the light by itself with the blue one and the fan by itself with the black one. But because I'm controlling everything from the switch, I'm going to throw both of those away. And I'm going to tie my blue and my black together with my black that's coming from my power supply. Tie them together. Tie it around your black. And another wire nut. And push them back up in the box. Now, this is a fun job because remember those 2 little screws that I told you to save off of that piece of trim? You gotta, now's the time to take them back out. I think only one of them has to come out because the other one I think has a little slip collar. So now you're seeing this piece up here has to go up in here. So round covers that up. Oh, I was wrong. Gotta take them both out of there. Do I? Nope. And that slip collar. Told you about. Aha. Well, we are covered. And we got that other little screw that we had. It's got to find its hole in there. I'll shut my camera off until I get that other little screw in there, and then I'll be back to show you how we put the fans on. But you get the idea. That's just gonna lock up in there when we're all done. But I gotta go to that side. No reason for you to have to watch me do that. So we'll pause the camera, and then we'll come back. We'll start hooking up fan blades. All right, I'm in a position where I'm ready to start putting in the fan blades. So you got two choices when you're putting these fan blades together. You've got a dark side and a light side. I'm putting the light side down. They come with these little screws. I put that to the dark side because I want the light side down. Make sure that your washer is on your side, right underneath the screw head. Now, we're going to be working down here a little bit lower, not clear up here. So, yeah, you can still see me. I'll put the camera down a little bit. There we go. I'm going to put one blade up here for you. So, basically seeing how I put these on here. So, in order to do these, you have a locking piece that's going to be right here. So you're going to want to come in here and you're going to take that locking piece loose. And that locks that from spinning. You don't need that screw because your fan blade has those screws in there. You can see those right there. So I'm just going to hold this up in here. Go ahead and figure out how to attach that in there. Okay, there's a slot. It's got to go into that slot. Trust me, it's a lot easier to put these together where they're at instead of trying to lift that whole mechanism up in the air. Don't fight it. If it won't go, be patient with it. You'll get her in there eventually. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take all these loose. I want to be able to spin that. Please, whatever you do, read your directions. Now, should work. Should go straight in. Trust me, that fan is designed to move around like that, or it would never spin your fan. A little bit of work here. Let me go up here a little higher so I can get myself fastened in it. All right. You can look and see if you're tight enough up in there. Try the square head one. Better. I want these to be tight or your fan's going to rattle and wobble. All right, I did it with my SOTS wrench. All right, my friends, I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of these on, and then I'll come back when it's all on, and then I'll show you what that looks like, and then we'll put the light on there, and then we'll go turn the power on, see how it works. I'll be right back. Well, I thought I'd bring you all with me when I put this last blade up here. I think it's been a pretty good video. This is a lot of hard work for me with my disability. This hurts my neck a lot. And with a broken neck, it's not very fun. I mean, it was 18 years ago, 2002. This is 2021, but I still feel the residual effects of that train accident. It's been tough. And this little shaking thing happens. It's nerve damage. The reason I'm telling you this is because a lot of people think they can't remodel their house. They think they can't do anything because of a traumatic event that disables them. But if you take your time and you take little baby steps, you can do amazing things. You can't do it without God on your side. You need the Holy Spirit to help you through it. It's the only way I've been able to do all of this. We got one last thing to install, and that's this light fixture underneath here, and then we're going to turn the power on and see how it all works. So I will guide you through that a little bit, and we'll get started on it. First thing I'm going to do is establish these wires that I'm going to be connecting mine to. I'm going to read the directions. I don't know if this plastic cover has to come off or not. I've never seen one on there before, actually, so I'm going to have to read it and see what they tell me to do. So I'll get this light fan hooked up. It's just quick connections. Let me show you that. Here's your lights right here. So you just hook up into those little pieces, and you have a little black, extra black screw in case you lose a screw, because those got to come out and go up in there. It's nice that they do that. But I'm going to pause the camera and see if this piece has to stay in here. I'll let you know in a minute. Let me put my little reading glasses on. At the light hook up on the page. Attach the light kit to the switch housing. Before starting installation, disconnect the power, it's already off, by turning off the circuit breaker or removing the fuse at the box. Okay, while holding the light kit under your fan, okay, I know how to do all that. That plastic cover, I'm going to take it off. I don't think it needs to be there. It's not showed in the picture. They're not telling me to take it off, but I'm assuming that's just protection for it. So let's go ahead and take that off. I don't think we for light kit. Yeah, if I leave that on there, my friends, it's going to create a big problem. So let's just get that out of there. Just like that. It's gone now. These have some screws that are on the side of this housing. They're going to have to back out quite a bit to go in there. So I'm going to take them all the way out. I have an extra one in case I drop one. Because this housing actually goes up inside that area there. So just back out your little screws. I like to use a ladder that has a little shelf on it. All right, my friends, white to white. And black to black. Or in this case, black to blue. Same fitting. Get it until it snaps. All right, my friends, we got to go feed that up in there until it the housing gets tight. Not the easiest job in the world, is it? Okay, there's a notch on here where your little switch square has to line up to that. And that's this area over here where the reverse switch is. So you've got to line that up right into there. Squeeze all them wires back in there. You just get one started, you can move your ladder around. And okay, I dropped it on the floor. I want to do that too many times in here. That's two dropped. Now, I found that one. And I found the other one. Ouch. Now I'm going to move my ladder to the other side. I hit my head on the headboard, as you can tell. It's been a long day, my friends. I started this job at, 11 o'clock this morning. It's 3 o'clock almost. Shaky really bad. Go up a little higher, I can't see it. delicate, small stuff. I'm gonna have to pause the camera. There's no sense in you guys watching this while I struggle. I'll be back. I got my wife here to help me because sometimes my disability just is too intense.
I got it. You just need a little screwdriver. Do you got one, Andy? The right size?
It's a straight. I've been using it.
There we go.
Don't drop it.
Okay.
And then one goes back here.
I know, I see it. Sometimes I have to help my honey out.
I'm shaking really bad.
You don't take enough breaks.
Well, the daughter's going to be here pretty quick, and I want her to be surprised. We got to clean all this mess up, too.
I'm not worried about it. You see what it looks like when they're in here. So. Okay.
Getting it?
Oh. That's what I did not want to do.
I got it.
Okay.
Can I already bend over?
Okay. I almost had it and then it came up. I got it.
Tight?
Almost.
I'll tighten this other little side down, and then you can help me put the gloves on it. I am exhausted.
Yep, I'm dexterous, baby.
You got it tight?
Hold on. Okay.
Let me check this other side. You can help me put the gloves on and put the bulbs in it.
Looks beautiful.
All right, you can step down a little bit.
I need to put the gloves on?
Yeah, you're going to have to help me.
It doesn't come with light bulbs, does it?
Yes, it does.
Oh, it does? Wow.
One thing at a time. You know how to do these, right?
Yeah.
Make sure your rubber band's not twisted.
Actually, I should do this one first. So you can see what I'm doing over here. Can you hold that for a sec?
Never be ashamed to get some help, my friends.
Nope. I love to help. Alright. Need to take more breaks. Don't do it all in one shot because you drop that.
You gotta find it. Well, you don't have to take them out all the way.
I know, I just gotta keep out. Okay. Oh.
Put these in my office so they wouldn't get broken.
Okay, next. If they're on the top bunk, you better watch their head. Okay, next one. Next. I almost made the trash. Next one. Okay. Almost. And you can turn the power on. Wait, hold on. What's going on, Cricket? What's going on?
One's probably longer than the other one. Maybe not.
Just need the one for the light.
So you need the fan. You need them both. It's right here.
One. Okay. Look, it looks beautiful.
And one on.
I'll save those little baggies. My art stuff. Okay. That would be the light, and that would be the fan.
I want you to get down. I'm going to go turn the power on and let's see if everything works. If I did everything right, it won't explode. It might explode.
No, my honey needs a good work. See if it works. And I know it's gonna work because he is he's a good honey, and he knows what he's doing. Okay, here. Oh, the switch has to be on. Let me turn the switch on. Voila. Oh yeah, we have power. Okay, I told you guys it worked.
Let's try the fan. One more.
Okay, it's going down. It's blowing down. That's what I wanted. Wow. Looks good in here. Looks good. So you can see the pin.
All right, brag about my handyman work to my audience, will you, babe?
I already did. You're good.
What'd you tell him?
I told him that you're a good honey and you do good work.
Yeah, my friends, I hope you enjoyed this playlist series on remodeling this bedroom. It's been a long time coming. I've owned this home. We've owned this home for 2 years now, and we're now finishing out the daughter's bedroom. And
I'm taller than him.
I hope she likes it. Well, she's on a ladder. I'm going to knock the ladder out from underneath
He's
her.
6'6", and I'm only 5'10".
But anyway, I'm going to go resign for the day. I've had enough. I got one more ceiling fan to do, and that's in my office. But I'll do that off camera, but not today. I'm going to take my tools out of here, and I'm going to let the wife clean up this room. The daughter should be here pretty quick. So thanks for watching, and
please subscribe.
may God bless you. May His face shine upon you, and may Jesus always bring you joy. I'll see you in the next video.